A woman named Alexandra befriended an amazing white raven she named Crary. Now he regularly flies to her and plays with her several times a week. Ravens are known for their high intelligence, and Crary is no exception. It only takes him a few seconds to figure out how to get food. Once, while sitting in the backyard of her house, Alexandra saw a raven, and observing his behavior, offered him a peanut. To her surprise, he gently took it from her hand. From that moment, they began to get to know him better. Alexandra started setting up little challenges for Crary, giving him various food puzzles. She was amazed by the intelligence and ingenuity of Crary. She especially liked watching how he chose the fastest and easiest path to food. Over time, their relationship only grew stronger. Crary was no longer so afraid of her but remained cautious. He would approach close enough to take food from her hand, or even sit on her leg or arm. If Alexandra noticed the raven was nervous, she would look away, allowing him to feel safe, and this worked great. Especially touching were the moments when Alexandra sat down to read a book, and Crary quietly sat next to her, enjoying her company and the tranquility of the surrounding nature. Later, another raven became interested in them, whom they named Crew. She was a female, very calm and shy, because she never dared to come closer, always staying in the background and watching. Alexandra soon realized that there is a feeding hierarchy in their world, and Crary, being male, should always be the first to get food. Crew observed and respected this hierarchy. Alexandra wanted to feed this raven too, but the raven always tried to take everything and did not leave until he did. It was very hard for her to tolerate this hooliganism, as Alexandra loved nature and birds, but she understood that this was part of their nature. In a small defense of Crary when the nesting season began, he became more generous and shared everything he found with Crew. The rest of the year he hides food in some places, and the raven has to track this down and re-hide the food for herself elsewhere. Alexandra tries to feed her when he is not around so that he does not see it. Later, a third raven named Kami appeared. He was the child of Crary and Crew. He followed Crary everywhere, and like all children at an early age, he had problems with patience. He didn't like to wait his turn and always tried to be first. Crary, as a father, puts him in his place, but he always comes back. Kami, despite being young and never having seen puzzles before, already copes with his first as well as his father. For example, he had to open a small compartment, and he did it. But how did he know there was food inside? 2 years ago, they had 4 fledglings, but they quickly disappeared, and only Kami stayed for a long time. Every morning, when the sun rises around 8 o'clock, they come first or sit in the trees and watch, waiting to see if Alexandra comes out. When she returns from vacation, it usually takes the ravens only about half an hour to notice her and fly in. Also, during this time, she realized that they have a concept of territories, and if another raven tries to take a place on a tree here, they chase it away. The woman becomes sad when she sees them in the rain, especially Crary. He sits in the rain right in front of her, outside while she is inside. But for him, this is normal. In winter, when a lot of snow falls, the woman cleans the perches for them. In summer, they stay here, in their territory. And from September to spring, they fly to a flock of other ravens to spend the night together. Alexandra searched for this place for several years and found it 3 kilometers from her house. There are thousands of ravens there. They fly in from all sides. She thinks that possibly among the 1,000 of these ravens are the 3 her friends who fly to her every day, and it is very touching to know such a small part of this wild nature so closely. He flies and communicates with this 1,000 ravens, while also flying down to her from the trees to play a game for food. This is incredible. The woman believes that although they have become so close and befriended, it is not a domestic animal. He is still a wild creature and will always be. She worries that the day will come when this raven will no longer return. and this causes great sadness because she loves him.